Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I wanted to give you an update on my Verizon 5G home internet gateway. And so here's some of the things that have occurred over the last 20 days. Because I first installed this just in front of New Year's Eve. That was installed on the Thursday just before New Year's. So I've been operating it round the clock since then. I haven't had any issues. One of the things that I did notice, but it could also be highly attributed to where I'm at and the type of building that I'm in. I'm in an all steel building, so it blocks the signal. But here's the thing, my antenna is only a block away, literally across the street. So it's not that far, and I have a good strong signal. I have 5G pretty consistently, but it does drop down to LTE speed, and so I don't know what's causing that, whether there's a lot of 5G activity and it's dropping down. But also one of the things that I've noticed here, weather can affect the performance. And that, as you've known since New Year's Eve, it's been really pouring down rain hard here, even thunder and lightning. And so one of the things that I did notice affecting the performance and actually even pausing occasionally was when thunder and lightning were occurring in the area. Also heavy rains. When it was really pouring down here, my speed dropped down to LTE during those heavy downpours, and then it shortly after the rain would subside, it would go back to 5G, and occasionally even get up to 5G ultra wide. Ultra wide is your fastest speed, and if you can get ultra wide, the 5G UW on Verizon, your speeds are at 85 megabits per second up to 300 megabits per second. And so I did see a significant difference when I was on UW, ultra wide. But then I don't get that very often inside here because of the type of building. I get ultra wide and I can see the speed when I'm outside and walking outside in the neighborhood and on the 5G on the phone. One of the other advantages that I did find about the cube, the box for Verizon 5G, it operates on 12 volts. And so if you are on solar and you have a kind of like what I had, a split system. I had a double voltage system. I had a low voltage for lighting and low voltage circuit, which was 12 volts. And that operated all my low voltage items, pumps, my chargers, things like that. And then I also had the high output, which is the standard 120 volt household on my solar. And so rather than using the power adapter on that on the box, what I could do, or what you can do, anybody can do this, if you have a 12 volt backup system, you can connect it to a 12 volt battery, and as long as it's connected to that 12 volt battery, it will always stay energized. And so that also brings up an interesting topic for those with boats and RVs. Because with a 12 volt system, if you have a battery backup system or the operating system on a boat, RV, or trailer, you can easily take this cube and put it inside of that. I haven't had any issues with movement because I haven't moved my box, but it's set for a specific area because when I signed up for the service, I gave my address and the zip code. And so as long as I'm inside that zip code, there shouldn't be any issues. But anyway, just wanted to let you folks know, if you do have an RV or a boat, or you're on solar for your home and you have a 12 volt low voltage tap, I would encourage you to put that on that 12 volt system. And then that way you'll never have to worry about that little power converter going bad, which they can do. But this works really well. If you don't have solar, plug it into the wall. It works really good. I've had it here, like I said, since just in front of New Year's. I've been very happy, pretty much for the most part. I would say this is not for gamers because of the possibility of the speed dropping down to 4G LTE and not be on 5G, and so that can make make things very difficult for a gamer or anything that requires very quick exchange of data. But for just about everybody else, if you're working from home, if you have a small business or anything, this actually works out pretty good. And since this is also you're able to move it into a 12 volt permanent situation with a 12 volt battery or a 12 volt solar system, that this can operate indefinitely. And even in power outages, plug it into a standard 12 volt battery would be a good idea, so that you can stay in touch even though your home is without power. By putting it onto a 12 volt battery or 12 volt battery system, you can continue to receive your signal, because all the cellular towers have a battery backup system, and so communications should be always there, no matter what the situation is, even with horrific things that happen, like the earthquake, fires, things. These cell towers should be working all the time. And so anyway, that's one of the things that I wanted to let you folks know, that this is a 12 volt unit, and it draws up to 2 amps of power. And so it's pretty light on energy, but very efficient. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.